Honeybees are all abuzz these days. Have you ever been curious about getting started beekeeping? Well, I'm here at the Bee's Knees in Minneapolis to show you how to get started. Hi, Christy.
Hey, Laura, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, welcome.
Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah.
So I am so excited to be in the Bee's Knees because not only do I love to eat honey, but I also understand the growing popularity and curiosity in beekeeping. You know, what is it about beekeeping that interests people?
You know, I started this business 8 years ago, and back then a lot of it was the bees are in trouble, and people were curious why they were in trouble, and also beekeeping started to be more accessible in urban areas, and I think the growing movement of having a connection to your food and where it comes from helps with that.
Is it difficult to get started?
So I think the hardest part of getting started is just getting over your own fear of the bee. If you show people how to work around bees, then there's an understanding that, oh, if I do this a certain way, I won't get stung as much.
As much is the key word there.
I want to be honest with you, it happens.
Okay, Christy, speaking of stings, I'm guessing this is probably one of the very first things you want if you're going to get started beekeeping.
So you need your protective gear. So bees sting, but they die when they sting, so they don't do it lightly. But the face is really the worst place to get stung. Very sensitive items on your face.
Yeah.
Nose, eyes, mouth. So the other thing you need is a smoker. We use a smoker to calm the bees down, but mostly to cover up their scent. So bees communicate by pheromones, by smell, and they have an alarm pheromone that to us smells like bananas. So if you put a little smoke on them before you enter the hive, and while you're working them, they can't communicate to each other and say there's an intruder, and you'll avoid getting stung. Another thing is what's called a hive tool. This is like, if you're a carpenter, you use your hammer for everything. Beekeeper uses a hive tool, mostly to get in and out of the hive. We use this tool to pry open the boxes, but also move the frames around. This is called a frame, and these frames, there's 10 of them in a box.
And where do you actually get the bees from? Do you have to source them from a bee farmer or someone like yourself?
There are a couple different suppliers where you can buy bees. We recommend trying to find someone local that is raising bees in their area so that they're adapted to our climate.
So now we're standing in the nectar patch, which means, are we about to harvest some honey?
We are. In order to harvest the honey, there's a couple of ways you can do it. The most common is you take a hot knife, or you could take a serrated bread knife. You just take this knife and gently go up the comb, and opens up the hexagon that is holding all the honey.
Look at that.
So then we take this frame and we put it in a honey extractor. It's basically a centrifuge. Our version of it is pedal powered. All right, so you're probably good on that round.
You know what's amazing is the amount of honey. It's a sticky business, but the sweet reward is well worth it. Thanks for showing us how to get started. It was
You're
fun.
welcome. Thanks for coming.